Fun fact, in the 2010s, Pixar just made 4 original movies. Brave, Inside Out, The Good Dinosaur, and finally Coco. All their other movies from the 2010s were sequels. You're right, Harry, we have been lacking in originality under the influence of that money-grabbing Mickey Mouse. Now that it's the 2020s, we need to return to original scripts. Leave it to me, I'll have a word with the mouse. Onward, directed by Dan Scanlon, director of the Monsters Inc. prequel Monsters University, and is the 22nd Pixar movie overall. So Onward tells the story taking place in a fantasy realm that pokes fun of the idea, what if fantasy became modern? All of the magic that once existed in this world has gradually decreased and has been replaced by modern technology. This world is only inhabited by magical and mythical creatures instead of humans. And 2 elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot, both lost their father so young, and their mother, Laurel, on Ian's 16th birthday. She shows them a magical scepter that their father told her to show them when they were both over 16, and it turns out this scepter has the power to resurrect their deceased father for just one day. So they are both eager to spend just one day with the father who they barely knew. But the trouble is, the spell is just 50% complete, resurrecting only his legs. So they have a limited time to go on a quest to complete the spell. Now, Onward is the first of a double bill of original Pixar movies this year. The second being Soul, and this is the long-awaited return to originality for the studio, as back in the 2010s they were releasing nothing but sequel after sequel after sequel with one prequel. So in that decade they didn't exactly feel like Pixar, they felt more like Disney. As we all know, Disney and Mickey Mouse can't get enough of all the sequels and nostalgia, but Pixar have finally put their foot down to Disney and gone onward and returned to their old selves with Onward. When I saw how similar this movie looked to Monsters Inc. in the marketing, my favourite Pixar movie, that instantly grabbed my attention and curiosity. And also, this may be the most personal project for director Dan Scanlon, as he lost his father at a young age. So he dreamed of making a movie with the concept of spending just one day with the father who you never knew. And I happen to be a defender of Dan Scanlon as a Pixar director. Monsters University is one of their most underrated movies. So is Onward an outstanding Pixar classic? Not quite, but it is still a imaginative and great return to form for the studio that can do no wrong. And be prepared to cry at the final scene. Any Pixar movie that succeeds in making you cry is worthy of a thumbs up. And Onward is, well, certainly more worthy to be called a Pixar movie than last year's Toy Story 4. Not their worst sequel, but their most unnecessary, in my personal opinion. I would have rathered we had Onward in 2019 than Toy Story 4 personally. Pixar are masters at imagining worlds that you just want to step into, from Monstropolis in Monsters Inc. to Riley's imagination in Inside Out to the world of the Des in Coco, and Onward is no exception. Onward may have one of my personal favourite universes in Pixar in general. This fantasy realm which combines modern technology and has elves and centaurs and mermaids in the place of humans, and has dragons in the place of dogs, and has unicorns in the place of raccoons or other critters that come out at night and eat your garbage. This world is beyond inventive, and it's a world I would love to return to in a theme park at Disneyland, or maybe even a sequel to Onwards to expand upon it so we can see even more of it. So I was inevitably going to shower this movie's world with love, being the fantasy geek that I am. Fantasy is my all-time favourite genre in film, and fantasy is the genre that I would love my movies to be as an inspiring future filmmaker. And the voice acting is the definition of perfect casting, with Tom Holland as Ian, Chris Pratt as Barley, Julie Louise Dreyfus as Laurel, and Octavia Spencer as the Manticore. This is Tom Holland's second voice acting role in a movie after Spies in Disguise, but this role is 50 times better than his role in Spies in Disguise, and his best role since Spider-Man in the MCU. Yeah, Ian is this 16-year-old. He is not so knowledgeable about the magic in this world. And he is just longing to meet his father in the flesh, as his father died when Ian was too young to remember him, of a fatal disease, and so the closest to a father figure in his life would be his older brother Barley. Chris Pratt also gets a second voice acting role in this movie. His first was Emmett in the Lego Movie. And Barley is wonderfully supportive and encouraging of his younger brother. He's always the one that's always pushing his brother to do the impossible. There's such a relatable factor to him for me, as he is also a total fantasy expert, and he informs Ian about the magical mythology of the world, and Laurel, the brother's mother, thankfully she has a far more significant role in the movie than the trailer would suggest. I was so worried the movie was just going to sideline her like Big Hero 6 did with Hero's aunt. That was one of my major criticisms with that movie. How was Hero's aunt so unaware of Hero's departure? But this movie thankfully avoids that flaw. It's their mother Laurel, she loves her sons so much, and she is well aware that they have gone missing when they do go on the quest to bring back the top half of their father, and she goes on her own storyline in this movie to get them back. She's now on par with Eleanor and Elastigirl as one of Pixar's awesomest mother figures, and And though her boyfriend, the centaur cop, he would be the movie's most pointless character, I can see why he's there, as Laurel would want to start dating again to move on from her husband. But he, like the other characters, also needs to drive the plot forward, and he doesn't. Uh, you nothing about Onward would change if he wasn't in the movie. Octavia Spencer as the Manticore, she would be my favourite character in this movie without a doubt. She's not just a side character that just shows up in the one restaurant scene. She teams up with the mum to help look for the brothers, so we get plenty of her in this movie. Hallelujah. Not only is her design one of the most extraordinary in a animated blockbuster, but she also has the most hilarious lines, and the mum couldn't have found the brothers without her. She turns out to be the handiest character in the climax, and the entire concept of the brothers are going on this road trip with their father's legs. That was the part of the movie I was worried most of all about. So I was worried, oh, is this going to play out as goofy? But no, it played out beautifully and heartfelt. I should never have underestimated Pixar. That's what they do best. They take the most bizarre concepts you never think could work in a movie, and they make them original. And Onward is a movie you can relate to if you grew up without a father figure. Well, I certainly don't have a dad, but because of personal things that happened in the past, I'm happy living with just my mum and sister. But I'm sure this is one Pixar movie that will touch the hearts of several, and you can see that Dan's scandal truly made this movie his passion project, and the ending does something ballsy. It doesn't resolve things so easily for our brothers. It doesn't give them the ending 100% that they wanted, but it does give them the ending that they need and it gives them some food for thought. It's Pixar's most emotionally poignant ending since the Remember Me ending in Coco. You will cry like a freaking baby at it. Though I do feel Onward should have had more of a villain than it does. The closest we get to a villain is this dragon in the third act, and that's all. Pixar have been lacking in the villain department for 2 years now with their movies. We haven't had a truly memorable and threatening Pixar villain since the Screenslaver and Incredibles 2. So maybe Solar will finally bring back the great villains to Pixar. But aside from that and some minor things that hold it back from being a Pixar landmark, Onward is still a creative and awesome original Pixar flick, which will have a special place in the hearts of Pixar fans for years to come. I give Onward 4 stars out of 5. Great movie. The 2020s is looking like a brighter decade for Pixar already. Pete Doctor, you have my full trust. Make us prouder with Soul later this year. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Onward? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. But please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time when I continue the James Bond reviews. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.